Dreams are where one flees to escape from the cares and troubles of the world, which is why even powerful beings have them, imagining places where their will is law. Dreaming is how one such as Euro received the nightmares of a Dawnbreaker, a ferocious creature in hand that constantly grew in size. It had 4 legs and was pitch black in colour, save for the lines of light that ran like a web of cracks through its body. Its large mouth held row after row of razor-sharp teeth, and its eyes were of the same golden hue as the lines of light running through it. The creature was glorious, yet terrifying. "What are you?" The creature snarled and bit Euro's hand, growing in size and leaping from his arm. Its entire body grew as it snarled and spit blood out, then lunged for his neck. With this creature leaping towards Euro, he was determined to make a demonstration of true power. The beam of light from his hand brought the creature down. Thus, he awoke. Nightmares do not necessarily end when one awakes, as the fortune or fate they portend to can carry into the real world. As an essence or spectre, Euro inhabits a human host that is given over to him, but gods never sleep, so how did he dream? In this state of mind, Euro looked amongst the world of men and watched Loen and Stalric callously murder 3 men and recruit a mercenary named Rhiala Nerin. It was not until he heard what Loen sought that Euro truly began to fear and decided to turn to one that might assist. "I, Euro Moonmaster, Watcher of the Times, Summon Legend, Warmaster, Guardian of the Compass and Keeper of the Dead." My powerful and well-manicured voice echoed across the abyss I live inside. Yes, speaking of the haven of an essence like myself seems short-sighted, but the place was my realm, mine to control, and none could enter without my permission. Into this space, Legend, the Warmaster, entered.
"I was not aware that I came at your beck and call, boy."
"Your insults and rebukes are unneeded, Legend. I am here to ask for your help." Even as the words left Euro's mouth, he assumed they would have no effect. For reasons only he was unable to understand, Euro had become a thorn in the side of the renowned Warmaster.
"After many years of rejected wisdom, now you come looking for it? What foolish thing have you done?"
"Nothing more than claiming my right as a god. I demand obedience."
"No human owes obedience to a coward any more than the sun owes obedience to the moon. The two exist in their own orbit, and though one is superior to another, either would live on uncaring if the other were never to have existed."
An older version of himself, that is to say a more intelligent and far wiser Euro, would have accepted the words spoken, but not this young coward. This pitiful fool's pride refused to accept that he was not in fact the most powerful being in existence, and worthy of acceptance. "Enough! I call you here to help me remediate the foolish actions of a human, Loen Stalric. He is a false braggart, whose pride and pettiness brought calamity to his house, for which he blames me." Once again, a wiser Euro would have thought better than to admit any wrongdoing, but his foolish younger self practically admitted the careless murder committed. Legend was not slow to understand what Euro had said, and his eyes glowed a powerful, deep blue.
"What did you do?"
"I visited him demanding his obedience. He refused it. I made him see his error through punishment." Legend was well known for being a composed and experienced intellectual, both empathetic and yet formal. But clearly the words of a proud god did not sit well with him. In a flash of red light, Legend moved forward, seizing Euro's neck and hurling him into the darkness of the abyss. He followed with a powerful beam of light, and fists ready for battle.
"Tell me now."
Fear flowed through Euro's body. Legend was an ally, and he was ready to kill Euro. His powers were growing. "What did you do? How dare you?"
"You are not my superior, you unlicked cub. I am a master of war. I am one of the most powerful beings in existence, and I will not be spurned by you. What did you...
Legend's voice trailed off. His eyes glowed, changing from red to blue in a violent cycle as he gazed upon the world and saw Euro's handiwork upon it.
You killed his children? You miserable little snob. You killed his children!
He refused to honor me. He deserved it.
You chicken-hearted swine! And you wish me to remediate what he has done. He has only done what you, through your lunacy, provoked!
Legend, he is going after the Genesis axe. As though all strength drained from the War Master's body, his glowing eyes closed. His fists, once clenched, relaxed. Sorrow painted his features, sorrow mixed with pain.
How did he learn? That was known only among the masters.
He visited Idalia. She had heard rumors from those among my church.
Your church will be your undoing, boy.
Legend, Loen needs to die. He will not give up.
You killed his family. He's responding to a threat and seeking revenge. This is your fault. Make amends for your error.
His wish for redress will be my death, Legend, and I am too valuable to die. He will not give up. I have to end him.
No! You are forbidden! If you attempt such foolishness, I will fight you with all of my being. The others will learn of what you've done.
Then what, Legend? How do we stop him?
I will help you fix this, boy. I will pay a visit to a friend that can help. In the meanwhile, use your resources to ask Loen to meet you. Peacefully.
Every creature in existence has calls and demands upon their time, and even an essence such as Legend did. His eyes glowed once more, and he raised his hand, forming a beam of light.
I must leave. Do not harm the human.
With a burst of light as though the sun had shattered, Legend's form disappeared. Euro stared at the space where he had once stood, incorruptible and incredibly naive. A stinging sensation came upon Euro. He stared down at his hand in shock and fear. As though his dream had been true, a mark of teeth was visible upon it. A small trickle of blood traced its way down his hand, which he immediately stopped. The wound sealed and vanished. The terror did not. The morning sun shone across rows and rows of corn awaiting harvest. Higher than man could see over, golden stalks flourished.
Dioven is even more beautiful than expected. This is where the Festival of the Gods is held?
The festival is celebrated anywhere that a major deity's church is located. During the festival is a very trying time, as any opposing beliefs clash, believing their god is greater. Euro currently has the largest following, mainly because last year people noticed that on the day of the festival, there is no sunshine, only the moon, all day long.
It is impossible for a being, man or god, to claim true goodness while the blood of young ones marks him as guilty.
I would not argue with you even if I were able to, Loen. Euro has grown fat in his seeming omnipotence, and the festival is a fitting day to show his little regard for human life.
The two killers made their way up to a gate, where a soldier looked them over. With a pleasant smile and cupping his hands to show a circle in an odd symbol, he posed this question.
May the moon grace you, travelers. What brings you to Dioven on this day?
May the moon double fortunes upon you, for as much as you seek the well-being of strangers. We have come to Dioven for the Festival of the Gods.
It is fully expected that a god would expect his followers to have a symbol to follow after, and the moon god is no different. His followers present a basic sphere for their symbol, a simple shape but instantly recognizable throughout the country of Agris. Loen ground his teeth in rage but kept his mouth shut. The soldier nodded the two past and Loen entered the city. His breath caught. He stared across the city of Dioven. Gold was everywhere, from accents on walls to walking staves. The churches were veritable palaces and the poorer homes were mansions all the same. Greenery grew along the walls and covered the ground, save for well-worn paths. An air of absolute tranquility lay about the town.
Well is the town named the God Haven.
It's beautiful.
Indeed, it is.
Loen turned to see a young man in scholarly robes walking towards them. He looked to be no more than 30 years of age. There was something familiar about him and Loen's chest tightened. The scholar's face had the same form as his dead son, Waylon.
My friend, I am Loen Stalric, and this is Rhiala Nerin. We have both come to the city.
You are here because you killed members of the Church of the Moon, and you wish to kill their god too.
Riolor was no fool. He knew the words he spoke spelled his doom. Loen seized the young man by his neck and slammed him up against the wall.
Word travels too fast, young man. How did you hear this?
I'm a scholar of the Church of the Moon. I've been warned of your arrival.
Who else knows of our arrival, scholar?
I have kept the information to myself, good lady. You needn't fear there. I wish to meet the man that would slay the moon. We have much to discuss.
The focus of our story shifts to my rival, the War Master. When he had left me, he turned his focus to moving some of his servants on a trajectory to meet with Loen and stop him before anything worse happened. Thus it was that he appeared in the middle of a desert before a small hovel in the ground. Small wind chimes moved slowly, and an oppressive heat beat down upon him. Legend took the steps slowly. On the fourth step, something clicked down, and a small dart shot forth, taking him in the eye. He stumbled, falling backwards and landing square on his back. The door flung open, and a young woman stepped out.
Legend?
Legend rose to his feet and reached for the dart, now protruding from his eye socket. With a pained grunt, he yanked it out, his eye slowly reforming.
Not quite the greeting I'd hoped for, Fiona. I'll accept it nonetheless.
I'm so sorry. I've been preparing some tools to help with Rasminus, and I feared he would disrupt my work.
Your precautions have merit, but we have greater problems. Euro is a blathering fool.
The sun shines, War Master. Both things are equally obvious.
Fiona, your skill with words and wit tend to soothe the most troubled minds. I must thank you for that.
Come in. We both know you aren't here to flatter my sharp tongue.
Legend only lost one other eye as he navigated the traps throughout her house. He brushed up against the table and a sword was rammed through his skull. Fiona's concerns were laughed off, and the two seated themselves at a table, overflowing with vials and chemicals.
By the fallen legend, say it already. Clearly you have something you need me to do, and you are fearful for my safety.
Your work is important, but I must pull you away from it and have you help me elsewhere.
What sort of work are you planning for me to do?
Euro has ruined a man and erased his family from existence. He wishes to kill him too, but I forbade it. I wish for Euro to make amends, but he cannot do that so long as the man he wronged is so dead set against him.
You wish to play peacemaker? Are you not the War Master?
Wars must always be fought, but sin should not always provoke them. I seek to head this off before Euro attempts to kill this man to protect himself.
You say that as though this human has a chance. Does he?
He seeks a weapon that will give him the chance. He's nearing it now.
He seeks the axe, doesn't he?
Aye, he does. And he has help.
Legend. How does he know?
You and I both know how. We both know who would take advantage of this situation.
Fiona was no fool, and neither was Legend. Unfortunately, I had been. The Euro that was before had been an idiot. Even now I admit that I remain a fool, although perhaps less of one.
I will leave tonight.
Travel to Dioven. Loen Stalric is his name. He is currently allied with one Rhiala Nerin. Expect others to be there to attempt to stop him. You must help to mediate. Loen must be willing to bring about peace.
Fiona rose at once and began to pack. Vials of chemicals and various small weapons that, even now, impress me as to their capabilities. She was an intelligent one, given knowledge by Legend himself. While my younger self was busy trying to kill, Legend had chosen a lonely person and became their friend. Because of this, Legend had allies, while I only had slaves. But now let us return to Loen. While Legend was visiting his friend, Loen was making a new one. Young Riolor, as was his name, had led both Loen and Rhiala to a nearby monastery. They entered through the doors, which swung inward with a rusty groan.
What makes a scholar seek to help the enemy of his master?
Your mistake is assuming I am a willing scholar. For once I was, now I know the kind of god Euro is, and I refuse to serve him.
There are no repercussions for such behavior?
The Church of the Moon welcomes even dissidents, hoping that with time they will come around.
Then why do you stay, knowing the kind of god he is?
Riolor opened a door off to the left in the hall, revealing a small room with a desk piled high with scrolls and books. The scholar gestured for his guests to enter and followed after them, before proceeding to place a bar in front of the door. Reaching behind a small desk, he produced an aged piece of paper.
The moon god has many monks and servants in this town that no doubt are aware of your arrival. They will be after you shortly. We must not stay long. This is a copy of the oldest document we have relating to the War Before Wars. This prophecy was created by one Fay Folimus, a wandering minstrel. He calls it the Sorthan, written in Leorin, a dead language, but it closely means the burden of the future.
That is the one whose bounty I fulfilled by slaying Idalia. Either a coincidence, which I cannot believe, or we have one using his name.
I would consider it a coincidence, for the War Before Wars was likely over several 100,000 millennia gone. It does not even seem to have occurred within our realm.
Answer my question, scholar. Why do you stay, knowing the monster Euro truly is?
I cannot tell you. We all have our part to play in the Master's plan, and I am not required to say, so I shall not. Especially now, with the time so close for the prophecy to be fulfilled, my duty is to teach you and prepare you in the way.
Then teach.
Euro is known by many names. Moon God, Guardian of the Times, Kingmaker, Observer of the Shrouds, and many others. But his most secretive name is Sunbroken.
Sunbroken? What does this mean?
The words broken and fallen consistently describe dead gods, or those fated to die. This seems to indicate the death of Euro at the hands of the Sunmaster.
Sunmaster? What foul god are we saying will kill Uro?
Not a god, but a weapon forged by one, the Genesis Axe. It holds the Sunmaster within it as an eternal prison, and its power is held by its wielder.
He is held within the axe.
He has been held for over 800 years.
How would we free him?
This proved to be far too much for Rhiala. She drew her blade and held it to Loen's throat.
I have accepted your casual murders. I have gone along with your vengeance quest out of pity. But Loen, I do not believe bringing back one who has been imprisoned is worth the cause. We have harmony. We have peace.
Peace? You call this peace? Euro slew my children before me! My friends will not remember their names. This is no harmony. This is us letting foul creatures play puppets with our lives.
Loen, please. This is not the way it should be. Let the past die. The death of your family should not claim the lives of others. Do not place your hand on the scales of fate.
Do not ask me to give this up! I have decided, and it shall be done.
You cannot kill him. Even if you did, his followers would kill you. Do not expect to live through this. Loen, I entreat you, let it go.
Life lost is a weighty matter. It is difficult to shoulder and more difficult to set aside. As a moth to a flame, Loen's passion and anger made his mind ignore the cost and focus inward.
This is the lot I have chosen, Rhiala. My survival is not desired. I wish merely for Euro to burn. If I can achieve this by freeing a god to kill him, I will.
If you wish to kill Euro, you need to secure the weapon. It is hidden in the Temple of the Sun.
Where is this temple?
The temple has been missing since the Zealot Wars. During the battle, it was destroyed and buried within a mountain.
I was told by the witch Adalia that the axe is here, in Dioven.
The temple could be in one of the surrounding mountains, but it would still be a matter of which mountain.
We will determine that at a later moment. I shall find the axe regardless.
Death tends to follow a man that has taken life, and consequences follow murder. Blows struck the door to Riolor's study. The occupants froze, and Rhiala pointed her blade towards the door.
You betrayed us, scholar?
I swear by my hope for Euro's fall that I have not. My fellow scholars and priests have been warned of your murders and have your description. It is likely the case that one saw you and followed.
Riolor, we know you have guests, and one is a murderer of our own. Serve our church and turn them over to us immediately.
My friends, I fear we must flee.
Do you have another way out?
None but through the door.
From beyond the world of humans, through rifts in the world, as though water through a sieve, the voice of Loen's master called, demanding obedience and granting power.
Death is owed, Loen. Pay your debts and claim their lives.
Light filled the room. Angry, biting, burning light. Loen's comrades covered their eyes as power entered the vengeful father. Loen felt an oppressive heat run through his veins, scorching him and yet filling him with comfort.
Scholar, you hold a murderer. Surrender him to us as Euro commands.
May the god of the moon fall to his death from his pavilion, and may the sun dash in pieces those that stand in the way of power. I swear that no man may claim the life of Loen Stalric until his debt and his mission is complete.
The response brought cries of blasphemy, and may Euro blind thee, as men worked to break down the door. Loen stood at the ready. Power flowed through him, ready to serve, and craving blood. The door began to splinter. Loen drew his sword.
Sirs, the gods have yet to save dead men. I offer one opportunity to be gone, lest I must shed more blood than needed.
The door fell in and Loen leapt forward. His sword ran through the eye of the first zealot. With a scream of rage, his fist caved in the skull of the next. The others halted momentarily. Loen held no power back. His next blow shattered the arm of a third opponent, and his fourth sent the man to the floor, coughing as he choked on his own blood. Heat flowed through Loen's body, and his opponents fell back through the doorway. He followed them, each blow claiming another life, leaving another son fatherless, making another widow, another mother childless. Prideful gods still respond to threats, and thus did Euro. His followers were killed, and he leapt to their defense. From his view in his realm he saw Loen, fueled with rage and unearthly power. Loen's next blow severed a man's crushed head from his body. Legend, you fool! Look at what he can do if not stopped. Legend, the war master, the leader, the essence, did see. In a burst of light, the godlike being appeared in the realm of humans, looking down at the town as scorching rays of light burned through it. As life was extinguished, as a farmer murdered the fanatics of a false god.
I see it, my young friend. I see what a fool has done. I see the fool's followers, suffering the consequences.
Fiona Herwood, the scientist, the diplomat, the mother, the widow, did see. The woman entered Dioven on the day Loen did. She saw the guards running to a commotion in the moon god's church. She heard of a monster attacking the worshippers. Rhiala, the hunter, the criminal, the orphan did see. And so did Riolor, the scholar, the traitor to his church. And so did a master of the sun from his prison.
It is time. Find me, my slave. The sun shall break forth.
Loen sensed his master's words as he strangled the life from his last enemy. He dropped the dead man and turned to Rhiala and Riolor.
Loen, what crime did they commit?
They intended to thwart me. I will not allow it. Nor will I allow you to turn on me.
I offered my services to a grieving father. What I see before me is a monster.
I see a means to kill the one that wronged me. Do not mistake my work as anything beyond a means to an end.
Your work is murder. There's no other end than that. Loen, stop now. I will not ally myself to this.
Then you should have chosen your allies more carefully.
With these words, Loen's body convulsed. Light like the rays of sunshine streamed from him. Loen's master had him, and nothing would free him.
Burn the fools that stand before you!
With a beam of light and a terrible blast, the War Master landed in the town in front of the church of the moon god. Loen turned to look at him, eyes blazing with fire and heat.
Farmer, your cries for justice are heard, but your path towards it has gone astray. Stay your hand, lest more die.
A god claims to hold me back from more death. Why did you not hold back the moon from killing my family if peace and justice are what you seek?
Grievous is the cup laid at your table to drink. I pray you, add not to its bitter taste. Allow me to intervene on your behalf.
Will your conflict with the moon restore my family? Can you bring them back?
The grave is the grave, Loen. None can return from it, save the act of a power higher than myself.
Blood is owed, War Master. Hold me not from claiming it. Either my family is returned to me, or my blade indeed shall be buried in the neck of the god that took them from me.
Once more, I ask you to hold back your rage. You are a pawn in another's game, and I fear the day he has no more use for you. Will your vengeance make you so blind to your own downfall?
Care for my welfare only came after I became a threat, War God. I had nothing until my master offered vengeance. I care little what happens to me after. Call it blindness, but I call it vision.
Loen, please, stand aside and end this crusade. There are other reasons to live beyond vengeance.
My family is dead. My family is gone. And he took them from me. What else am I to do?
Let me intercede. I will speak to Hero. While revenge should not be the goal, restitution may be, and so is justice. I will handle him. He will be held accountable by me and others like us. We will punish him for his crimes, which for too long I've merely tried to undo. Please, Loen, let that be enough.
I suppose that it must be, for I have no choice in the matter, do I, sir?
Lad, you have none. I do not long for sorrows of this kind to be at any man's door, but I will not allow your grief to be this world's undoing.
At this point, late though she was, Fiona made her appearance. Seeing Legend, she stopped short and waited. Slowly, Loen's fists unclenched. He sat on the floor of the entrance to the study. Silent tears flowed down his cheeks.
What am I to do?
Loen Stalric, I, Legend, the War Master, charge you under pain of death. Do not leave the city of Dioven until I return. When I do, it shall be to bring news of Euro's punishment and our determination on what capabilities we have for restitution. Hold back your rage for me, Loen. I will see your justice done. You have my word.
Thus was the crusade of a man brought to its halt. Loen, though enraged and sworn to the will of another, saw the futility of his efforts. He nodded his head to Legend's words. Once more his spirit had been broken.
Lastly, I leave you with my friend Fiona. I shall entrust your care with her, and you shall dine, rest, and have all of your needs met by my orders and paid at my expense.
Loen Stalric, it is a pleasure to meet you.
I am Rhiala Nerin, bounty hunter, at your service.
Bounty hunter? I suppose you could weave us many a tale during our time here.
I suppose I might, for I wish to hear of justice for this man and his family.
I watched as Legend took his leave. I saw Loen Stalric walk away, Fiona leading him and Rhiala and my traitorous scholar bringing up the rear. I trusted none, even the great Legend, but I knew the grave danger that awaited me should justice not be served. I was a god to these fools, and I was above being punished for a mortal's suffering, whether I had caused it or not. I hated Loen Stalric for his anger, for his desire for justice. I hated Legend for the promise he gave. He promised justice, and so justice was demanded. This was an insult to me, and I would have none of it. Loen Stalric must die, and his demands for justice must die with him.